So we just got back from the Open Sauce event that was in San Francisco. So what's Open Sauce? Open Sauce is an annual event in the San Francisco Bay Area. This was the second one. I know he intends to do this annually going forward. And I've been to both Open Sauce events, and I really can't answer that question, what Open Sauce is. It's kind of an organically growing thing. It's really kind of interesting. The basic idea of it is to get content creators, YouTube creators, together and to kind of show off what it is they do, how they do it, people that make unique and cool projects. They get to go there and show off their unique and cool projects. And it's kind of what you make of it. So whatever it is you think the event is, then you're right. That's what it is. It's been a lot of fun to be involved with it, and we've been there both years with Tombstone on display. And it's been just a lot of fun. We've had a real good time with it. So right up front, we'll talk about the creator badges, right? So as an exhibitor, this was the badge from year one. It's kind of cool that it's a piece of circuit board. It's a piece of Garolite that's been coated and whatnot. So this was from the first year. So the second year badge looks very similar, all right? But if you flip it over, you can see that this circuit board actually does have circuitry in it. And it's got basically a schematic for the things you add to it. And if you follow this, on the front you'll have LEDs here where the robot's eyes are, and they blink back and forth. So at some point in time I'll have to drag together those pieces and make this work, because they did look cool. There were several people driving around, walking around with these where they actually had the parts and had made them work at the event. So I know it's kind of a cool thing. So what shows up at an Open Sauce event? So you get some interesting projects. There was a guy that had a really interesting project of this. It amounted to a little chair that was almost like a wheelchair that was driven around by a cam walking system. And it was kind of funny when he strolled by the BattleBots area with this, because it didn't take much to catch the attention of all the builders. Basically everybody went and watched this guy cruise by in his little walking chair. One of the things that they have at Open Sauce is a lot of panels for content creators and whatnot to talk about what it is they do, sometimes a question and answer afterwards. It's a way for them to give out some of this information. It's one of the biggest parts of this is the panels that they have. And they ended up with a couple of stages. They had a really nice main stage for this, and they had another smaller stage in another building. And so BattleBots was involved in a couple of these panels. I personally was in one of them. And this was kind of a cool way to just get up there and kind of talk about what it is we do and how things have gone. So one of the panels was the BattleBots champions. They had several of us there of the modern era. They had somebody from every team other than the most recent ones. Jameson lives back east, and he wasn't able to come out for this. But they had, I was there, Paul was there. They had Nick from Endgame, and they had Aaron and Ginger from the Tantrum team. So they had representatives of each team other than Jameson, so we didn't have him here. But it was really cool to just get up and talk about everybody's path towards getting that giant nut at BattleBots. The other panel was a combat robots through the ages, and so they had some people that had been around for a while. Then they had some of the newer upcomings and some of the guys that are going to make a change in the sport going forward. And so it was a cool opportunity for us in the sport to just have an opportunity to talk about the sport rather than just go compete. One of the cool things about events like this is you manage to get together people that you may not have seen for quite a while. And this particular one is somebody I haven't seen in a long while. So in the world of combat robotics, the name Carlo Bertocchini should come out as a standout name. The guy is one of the pillars of our sport from way back when. the builder and driver of Biohazard, one of the winningest robots in the sport, who hasn't been around for a long time. The last time I had spoken to Carlo was in 2005 for the first Combats Cup event. And I honestly don't think he's competed at any events since then. He's just been working with this business and whatnot. And so he came out to Open Sauce, and he was there hanging out for a little bit of the time. Him and his son was there too. And so I got a really cool picture of me and Carlo and Paul Ventimiglia. And it's kind of cool that here are 3 BattleBots champions, right? I've won BattleBots twice, and I was still the guy with the least amount of championships at that particular photo because the other guys both had me outpaced. So it was kind of a cool little historic moment to get basically 3 guys that have gone the distance and, you know, right up there together. And it was good to see Carlo. I hadn't talked to him in a long time, so it was good to see him. At last year's Open Sauce, I had an opportunity to do a little tiny event, little match with Angus from Maker's Muse. Now, he had made a tiny version of Death Roll, basically a copy of the robot from BattleBots. And my buddy Zach with Scorpios, he kind of set up a spot where he would have me fight against Angus, and I used one of Zach's little robots to do this particular match. And it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time doing this. Well, Angus came back out again this year to Open Sauce, and we had just a really good conversation. He's a great guy. And we kind of tossed around the idea of maybe having a rematch next year. We were both kind of busy this year. We just didn't connect. But next year, he may resurrect his little Death Roll, and I may actually make a tiny version of Tombstone. So I'll give him an opportunity for a rematch because I beat him last time. So, you know, give him a chance to come exact some revenge on me. So if we do that, it would be for next year's Open Sauce. And, you know, I would say look for some build videos eventually down the road if we decide to do that. Because I can see that could be kind of fun. We could have a good time with that. Obviously, we had a lot of fun being at these kind of events. They're a blast. When I go to combat robot events, I'm busy competing. I'm busy getting ready for a match. I'm getting repairs done after the match. I'm focused on the competitive event that I'm at. And I don't get the chance to talk with the fans as much as I might like. And that's a shame because we have the best fans in the world, hands down. So events like this are great because it gives me the opportunity to get out and just interact with these people that love the show. And I know it's important for them to come and see the people that they're used to seeing on TV. The truth is it's important for me too. I just love to interact with the fans. And so this is a great opportunity to do that. So obviously for next year, we will be back. I don't know exactly with what. Certainly Tombstone would probably be there on display again. If we may build some other things. I've even got some ideas of some bigger things I might build. And, you know, it's a year away. I can make some interesting things happen in a year. So certainly for 2025, we'll be back, and Open Sauce plans to be back too. So you can go to opensauce.com. And right now there isn't anything, they don't have dates specified, they don't have a venue specified. I don't know if we'll be back at the Cow Palace. It was certainly large enough to host us, so we'll just have to wait and see what he arranges for next year. You can assume it's probably going to be summertime next year, but it will be a happening. It will be a show. It will be something you won't want to miss. So kind of keep that on your radar for next year because we'll be back and it'll be fun.